to Master of Orion 2, where I'm doing what is a bit of a walkthrough of Game 1 Impossible. I am playing on Impossible difficulty, of course, but I'm playing with Telepathic. Here are my race abilities. Race/faction abilities. Telepathic, Warlord, Unification. Those are the key ones. So I've just defeated the Sakra. As you can see here, I've got their planets, very large population. They do have subterranean. Lots of food, of course. I do need some more freighters there. Bit of a common problem of mine, because I tend not to build enough freighters. So we'll go ahead and add a freighter fleet there. And I'm at war with the Klakons. They're kind of next on the hit list. So I'm gonna go for them now. This planet, I did check it out, or this star, but the defenses... I defeated the defenses for this planet, but they have a, what do you call it, a telepathic officer there, so I can't actually mind control. So a transport, I could build some transports to take it. I do have a lot of command points. Might actually start that now. I'm gonna build a marine barracks first. A couple of planets here. Don't want to overdo it, but I will need quite a few, I think, because my racial abilities are such that my infantry are going to be quite weak. So I'm going to have, I've got laser rifles, so +5, and I've got titanium armor, so +10, so it's +15. But then, because of my racial abilities, my low gravity is -10, and then I've got ground combat -10, so I'm actually going to be at -5. There was a leader here who had commando, which that would actually be good now, but I didn't recruit him. Whereas they're powered armor. Yeah, I'm gonna need like hundreds of transports, I think. So you know what? I'm actually going to not bother with this. I'm just gonna exterminate it. Because they have powered armor, it's just, yeah, it's going to be too much. I'm not exactly sure how the calculations are made, but having a lot more ground combat obviously means one infantry with like +20 could take out maybe 4 or 5 with +0, so it's going to be too much. Even though I've got a lot of command points here, it's I think going to be too much hassle, so I'm going to take these and then I'm going to just exterminate this. Okay, here we go. Finding a missile base this time. They got Merculite missiles. But I've got enveloping fusion beams. So as you can see, pretty much takes out the entire salvo. Beams basically do nothing, it's really only the missiles I gotta worry about. Oh, this thing doesn't have a shield. So as you can see, shooting it with the neutron blaster It's got 14 Marines now. If I shoot it. Now only 8 Marines. So even though I've got the bad ground combat penalties, I should be able to just take this by killing all the Marines. Now you might think, well, that's ground combat, why would it apply to the space combat? But it's a bit misleading. When we say ground combat in this game, we mean infantry / Marines. So in space it's Marines, and on planets it's the, don't know what you call them, infantry I guess. But in any case, it applies all those same bonuses, penalties, etc. They apply to both. So there's 2 Marines left. Now I might be able to just capture this now. As you can see, I've got the +5 like I calculated earlier. He's got 42 for some reason. And even though I got 6 and he's got 2, I actually lost all of them. So this is a bit of an insight into what I was explaining earlier about if I was to land troops using transports, this is the kind of result you would see. So even though it's 6 against 2 and I lost all of mine and didn't kill a single one, so it's because of the bonuses are just so vastly different. So I pretty much need to kill every single Marine. Yeah, once again. So I'll shoot it one more time. Now it's got 0 Marines, and now I just automatically, basically just win by default. And don't know if you remember my explanation of telepathic. I can actually control the starbase now. I'm hoping the missile base will target the starbase. Okay, it didn't. That's okay then. I can still... Yes. Defeated now anyway. Mind control. Okay, finally got pollution processor. Go for a neural scanner now. Just to safeguard my technology. And now this is a little bit tedious, but when you get a new building, you kind of have to go through, build it everywhere. There is an auto build function, but I don't like what it does. I think it builds things you don't need, like it'll probably build armor barracks, which I'm not interested in building. It also builds things in a suboptimal order. Suboptimal in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But play around with it, give it a go. You might like the results. I like to do it all manually though. I am playing on impossible, so I need basically every advantage I can get. It's gonna scrap that space academy. I don't think I'm gonna use it. And then these planets. Now that I have, as you can see, the production has significantly increased because pollution's decreased thanks to the pollution processor. Still have a decent amount of pollution, but it's a lot better than it was before. Okay, let's take the home world. Gonna do what I did before, move forward. Again, a little bit repetitive, I know, but that's how it goes. And I don't trust the auto resolve, auto combat to do things correctly. I don't want to lose my whole fleet. Oh, and this function here that I was using, I didn't explain this earlier. Green, I think if you right click on weapons, it'll explain how it works, but I'll just explain it. Green means it'll fire if it can. It highlights there, as you can see. Yellow means next time you click, it won't fire. Basically means setting it to yellow, like clicking it once puts it to yellow. Essentially it means hold fire with this weapon. So if I click, then it goes back to being green. And then red means do not fire. ever. So no matter how many times I click, it won't fire. The one exception to that, when it's red, is that point defense will still fire against missiles or whatever. So you can actually put your point defense weapons to red like that and keep firing with your other weapons, and then point defense weapons will still target these missiles. So it's pretty, yeah, like, again, this game is pretty amazing in all the design features. There are some things which I think are kind of stupid, but this mod fixes a lot of them. But they did really think about a lot of stuff. There's a lot, yeah, a bit of a labor of love, I think, went into this game. I assume so. Just because of all these design features. You know, I've yet to play any other game that even remotely resembles this, except maybe Master of Orion 1. So, a bit of a repeat of last battle. What I'm doing here is I'm using the wait function, because they'll fire their missiles, and then that gives me an opportunity to shoot them. Whereas if I waited, the missiles would fire, but then immediately move at the end of the combat round, so I don't really want that to happen, so I might miss out on an opportunity to target them with my fusion beams. So right now, I could shoot the planet with the fusion beams, and I might be able to finish it off, but let's say it was still at 50% health, I wouldn't be able to. I'm much better off waiting. Maybe I can just... no. Yeah, there we go. So those missiles would have just moved up and hit one of these, so don't want that. A little bit complicated, I know, but all I can really suggest is just play around with it, and it'll eventually make sense. I don't think any amount of explanation will really do it justice. It's one of those things you just have to get a feel for. Alright, looks like I need even more freighters. Zero BC to hire, so let's just do it. Put him on Slar, 40%. It should give me a nice boost. I'm pretty sure his thing is cumulative with the spaceport as well, so let's take a look. Oh no, it looks like a leader bonus gets applied first, then the spaceport gets applied to the whole thing. Or not. I think leader bonus gets applied to taxes, and then spaceport gets applied to taxes, so... Anyway. Still be good. I am hiring, so he only needs to make 2 BC to be gaining a benefit. And yeah, this planet, I will just... It's got a battle station now, okay. I'm just going to exterminate these planets, because taking it with ground troops is going to be way too tedious, I think. So they have no shield, no levels of refinement in force fields. That's why my point defense laser is able to actually do some damage. So this thing does... It's minus 50%, so it's 2. Yeah, so it's still... So point defense, it does half damage. And then shooting a planet does half damage. So this thing says 1 to 4, but it's actually 1 to 2. It's point defense. And then 2 minus 50%, so doing 1, but then times 3 because it's auto fire. That's why I'm doing 3 damage when I shoot this. There we go. Yep, can't mind control, so gonna have to do it the hard way. Yeah, I do want this battleship because I'm not confident facing the battle station. Battle station is very powerful, so I want an extra ship. I'm gonna go ahead and I do have really good income, lots of money, so I'm gonna just buy this. Let me just quickly check its design before I do. That looks good. I'm gonna get a few levels of... Actually, I'll get hydroponic farm first. Let me check these planets. Looks like they don't have hydroponic farms. Just to make me less reliant on freighters. I think my population's pretty solid. I think a lot of these already have biospheres, or maybe not. I know at least one of them does. Yeah, this one's got biospheres. So I think I'll get more benefit from the hydroponic farm. It only takes a turn to research, basically. Then I'm going to go into force fields. Move this guy up. Ooh, the Klakons are in the game. Well, yeah, the Klakons are in the game, but the Cylons are in the game. What color are they? They're red. So if I look at them, you'll see they have a lot of technology, and lots of this technology is being sold to the other races, which is really bad. Already have positronic computer. Planetary defenses, missile base, fighter garrison, and battle station. So they have to die ASAP. Can't really get to them though. So what I'm going to do is actually absorb the Daleks. So I'm not going to refit my fleet, I'm going to keep building, keep researching, and then just keep steamrolling. I can already reach this stuff. Probably should actually build the hydroponic farms. So all these planets that have no... It's only a maintenance cost of 1 for 2 foods, so it's pretty good. Mainly for these planets which have no farming. Just to take a little bit of pressure off the freighters. Okay, here we go. This thing also has armor piercing. In the base game, you won't see certain mods on the starbase weapons. Also, all the missiles, I think, are combined into one weapon slot. So they split it up now, which gives you more flexibility, because you can target multiple ships. With 3 launchers, you can target 3 different ships if you want. Looks like he's going to target everything on one ship. I'm going to try and pick off the the missile base. as I get closer, I'll start targeting the battle station with my neutron blasters. Kill all the marines and then capture it, rather than trying to destroy it. Yeah, because he's got armor piercing, the armor gets ignored, so that's it's dangerous. So he'll get a couple more shots before I reach. Hopefully it's not enough to take out my... He's targeting my leader as well, so... Really... I guess it's not that big a deal if I lose the leader. I do have a backup leader. Missile base is gone. Now I can just focus everything on the battle station. The enveloping fusion beams, as you can see, do a lot of damage because he doesn't have a shield. Maybe I can just destroy it by the time I kill all the marines. Quite a few marines there. Alright, there we go. Once again, can't mind control, so just gonna exterminate. There we go. Clock-ons are dead. Just going to go back here, just to repair. Next battleship 5 turns away, which is actually here, so I'm just going to buy it. So kind of the benefit the leader is getting. So $2 there, 2 there, and here 9. So he's giving 13 at the moment. As these planets become more populated, it'll go up. He's adding over 10 BC, so that's pretty good. Not bad considering he costs 1 to hire, so 0 to hire and costs 1 per turn. Okay, got my 2 battleships now. Now I can just steamroll the Daleks. He's got fighter garrison but doesn't have missile base. This guy doesn't have as much attack as some of the other guys because he's repulsive, so he can't trade with the others. So I'm just gonna take all of this, and I don't think there's gonna be much he can do about it. No shields, so or no levels of refinement in shields. So my weapons will do pretty good damage against the missile base, or in this case, fighter garrison. Fighter garrison, it replenishes fighters, I think, every 10 turns. So this won't actually shoot for a few turns. So now I'm just going to focus the starbase. And I'm just going to auto combat this one. Yep. Okay, the Trilarians just declared war on me for some reason. So like I said, they'll, even though you've got the treaties and stuff, sometimes they'll just, they just decide that you have to die, and then, yeah, that's it. They try to kill you. Now, it's already been a hyperspace flux, so I'm not too worried about them. They're trans-dimensional. This ability here. Trans-dimensional races are not affected by hyperspace fluxes. So it's a very, very niche specific thing, but their ships are faster. And if there's a hyperspace flux, they ignore that, so that's insanely good. If there's a hyperspace flux, they can move around, but no one else can, so you better have good planetary defenses if you're in that situation against Trilarians. Now I'm going to split up my stuff here, try and take out as many planets in the shortest amount of time. Just going to buy that. They have stealthy ships, so I can't see them when they're coming. There we go. Alright, here they come. Pretty much similar tech that we saw earlier. Higher beam defense though, because they're trans-dimensional. Which means pretty much I'm relying on my beam weapons, so that's actually pretty bad. Just going to use one missile launcher on that cruiser to hold it back. So I can't even hit, as you can see. Okay, the interceptors are point blank range, so they're able to hit. And they've expended all their ammunition, which is good. This is pretty low on health, but they've already fired all their missiles, so it's going to take a while for them to finish it off. And this thing its drive is starting to take damage now, so it's losing combat speed, losing beam defense. So my starbase will do more and more damage with each round, basically. Okay, good. Now this is a really tough choice because all three of these are really good. Class 3 shield. 15 times the ship's size and damage, so in the case of a battleship it's size 4. It's 1 through to 6, by the way. So frigates are 1, battleships are 4, Doomstars are 6. You can fill in the blanks there. So 15 times, so 60 health. And then it reduces each attack by 3, so very good. Planetary radiation shield, extremely good defensively. It further reduces it by 5. So I think when you've got a planetary radiation shield, with the 3 levels of refinement plus this, it reduces damage by 8. So if you had a weapon that did 20 damage, it gets reduced by 50% against a planet to 10, and then this plus the levels of refinement will reduce it by another 8, so that'll reduce it down to 2. And if your missile base has 200 health, it's going to take a lot of shots to kill it, so I think that's how it works. Still not 100% on this damage against planets thing, but that's roughly how it works. Yeah, don't really know what to get right now, honestly. I think maybe ion drive, just faster drives would be helpful. So now, if I look at ship design, the shield now takes less space because I've got a level of refinement. only a little bit of extra space, so I'm not even going to bother. Actually, yeah, we'll go up to class 3 shield. Then I'll refit. So that's 8 turns. Move these over. Now only 5 turns, okay. Once I take out the starbase, dealing with these is not going to be a problem. As you can see, like that one shot took out 20. So, yeah, because enveloping fusion beam very good against this sort of. Oh, whoops. So as you can see, I can just take them out quite easily. Just auto resolve. There we go, got biospheres in the end. Ooh, this one has gem deposits, so even more money. So, because they don't have missile base, this is pretty straightforward. Yep, more race. I do have a battleship there. So I'm gonna just buy these. I got plenty of money. I just don't want to stall my advance here any longer than I have to. That's actually quite tempting. Heavy armor also very good. Even, yeah, pretty much all of this is good. Soil enrichment I can just research myself. But heavy armor, planetary missile base good. Tachyon communications normally is good, but I've got so many command points from Warlord that I don't really need that. Tachyon, even Tachyon scanner would be helpful. Yeah, they want neutron blossom. These two races, yeah, they've also got positronic computer, so I think I'm gonna have to. This is why I researched inertial stabilizer. Because they're orange, okay. The Mershan and the Cylon have very high beam attack, especially Mershan, because they've got the plus 50. So their ships are going to be pretty devastating against mine. But if I get class 3 shield and inertial stabilizer, it'll be pretty good. Or I'll be okay, I think. I hope. Tyrants, 2 frigates this time. More Trilarian ships moving in as well. Let's quickly add biospheres to these planets. A little bit tedious having to do this every time you research or acquire a new building. don't have too many planets though, so it's not too bad. I think, oh, this one has natives, okay. Already one of them has died, which is not good. Natives are... yeah, once you lose them, that's it. So, let's say this planet gets bombarded and loses 5 people. I think it'll be randomly distributed. Not 100% on that though. As you can see here, for whatever reason, this planet lost one population and one of the natives died. So. So just a couple more planets there. Okay, it's going to target the missile fighter garrison for some reason, but let's see what happens. So as you can see, auto-resolve is not very smart. Didn't lose the battleship, thankfully. Oh, this one has a missile base. Now I'm in a nebula, as you can see, like the background there. And that means 2 things. One is you move slower, unless you've got a navigator, which this guy is. But it also means shields can't function. So even though I've got class 1 shield, it says 0 damage blocked. It's not going to matter in this case, but that can make a big difference. There is a technology, I think, called hard shields, which lets you operate your shields in a nebula. Generally not really worth getting. It's pretty far down in the tech trees. Ooh, okay. See, that's why it's better to wait. Wait for them to fire their missiles, and then I can target them with the fusion beams. So in those earlier battles, what you saw just then, that's what would have happened had I not done things in the right order. So it's quite delicate. I think this can go wrong very quickly. Mechlars this time. That's, yeah, more natives. Lots of planets have natives this game. I'm not going to bother trying to buy star bases. Don't have enough money for that. Almost got class 3 shield. Cruiser against the starbase. Let's see what happens. I think I should be able to take it. Really all I need to do is survive the missiles, and then I can swoop in and capture it. Yep, there we go. 0 Marines. I can just do that. Communications, nice. And this is their last stand, I think. Or maybe they've got one more planet after this. Yeah, looks like they've got another planet because he retreated. If it's their last planet, then they won't retreat. Which makes sense, right? Nowhere to run, basically. Yeah, that one there. So this guy will take 3 turns. This guy will only take 2 turns. If I was to go there, only 1 turn. 4 turns for this guy, because of the nebula. So I'll go take that out. Hopefully that's their only ship. Even moving here to here is going to take 2 turns. And Tarans are about to hit. Hopefully they hit the main planet, because then I think I can win without losing anything. Also got a giant amoeba heading for my homeworld. Can't let that happen. Might be able to get a cruiser out in time. Okay, they went for one of the other planets, so they'll move in, drop their bombs, and yeah, nothing I can do really. Might as well get soil enrichment. So that planet lost a lot of everything, so it kind of has to rebuild, but that's what happens when they get through. So at this stage of the game, you don't lose too much, but well, that was quite a fair bit that I lost there. But they drop their bombs and then they disappear basically. So it's like a one-off attack. But later on, once they start sending in cruisers, once they make it through your defenses, that's it. The planet is basically doomed. You lose the entire colony. So that's why I just kind of let it happen. But these planets aren't that important anyway. I think we'll see what the Trilarians do. They might move down now. Only deuterium fuel cells. Okay. So they've got a star here. They can reach these. That one as well. But they can't reach down here. So otherwise, the computer basically have map packs. If they could reach this, very next turn, 100% they would just move there and just exterminate it. Because they would just know that there's no defenses there now. But they can't actually reach, so they're not going to do that. It's a little bit BS, but it is what it is. Okay, there we go. Oh, I do have class 3 shield now, okay. So now to redesign and refit all my battleships. Call this Fury 2. There it is again, class 1 shield, reducing in cost and space, but now class 3 shield, because I have 0 levels of refinement, costs the maximum. Want to have an inertial stabilizer as well. That's going to take up a lot of space though. So I'm going to have to reduce the firepower a bit. So we'll go with that. Might be worth getting rid of battle scanner. I'll go with this for now. Might be overdoing it a little bit. And if you set it to producing, the sort function here, it puts, I think, more military-based stuff at the top and more economic stuff down the bottom, like housing is right down the bottom there. So all your planets that are making ships, they'll appear at the top here, so I quite like it for that reason. Makes it easier to manage this. We'll go up to Hitachi 5. This one I'm not going to give it a... Yeah, I won't give it the inertial stabilizer. Just go with class 3 shield and hope that'll do. as for this ship, I'm gonna actually design a new ship. Make it a cruiser. This is for the ship. This is for the amoeba. So what I'm gonna do is Merv is very good. It's kind of like enveloping, but for missiles. So carry 4 separate warheads, which separate from the missile just before impact. So it makes the missile hit 4 times, but doubles the size and cost. So similar to the enveloping ability on the fusion beam. So I'm gonna, essentially what I'm gonna do here is use this, just call this I like to name bomber. This is essentially a bomber ship. It's just meant to fire off its missiles to that amoeba. And for bomber ships, I like to name them after. I don't know if you ever played Free Space. Came out I think Free Space 1 came out in '98, so a couple of years after this game. But I named the bombers after the bombers in that game. It's something I like to do. Main reason is, like, there is a practical reason, just so I can keep track of what's what. If you can, come up with your own system that helps you keep track of everything. And then, whatever works for you. So I'm going to bring all my ships together. Then they'll all gain the benefit of the navigator. Still only +1, but that'll do. And then I'll go and finish off, or take out these guys. Ooh, okay, this guy is extremely good. Farming, labor, science, spiritual, but that doesn't do anything for me because I'm unification. But the most important thing that he does is that he brings in the advanced form of government. So 100% gonna hire him, and right away you can see my food just shot up like crazy then, because all my food production went from +50% to +100%. So here we go, galactic unification. This is one of the quality of life improvements of this patch. It adds more text here. Galactic unification elevates the government to the status of a true, fully interconnected collective consciousness. So food and industry production bonus is doubled to 100%. And well, it also improves the assimilation time, but don't really care about that. So I actually think this leader is quite overpowered, but I'm not going to say no to getting him if he's offered. Don't really know where to put him though. Financial, okay. I'll just put him on Omicron. And I'll put the other guy. One of these has a lot of population. I'll put him on K. Just to gain the benefit of the financial there. But yeah, now my food is just exploded, so I'm going to take some farmers away. Don't need so many farmers now. Now that we've embraced the power of a unified collective consciousness. Wouldn't recommend that in the real world, but in this game gives me double food and industry production, so I'll take it. I'm about to get soil enrichment as well. Probably don't need that anymore, do I? I'll get positronic computer, and then I can avoid having to use battle scanner. Also want better armor. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is really good, so only researching one thing at a time can be painful. And even if I was creative right now, I'd only be able to research one field at a time. one within one category. But I kind of want all this tech right now. There it is there, little icon has changed to symbolize a new power, new regime. Buy this thing first. Now I can't afford the starbase. Oh well. Well, I'm just gonna have to hope that that cruiser is enough to defeat the amoeba. So fire once. I should survive specials regeneration. Okay, I don't know what that is. But between these missiles and these fighters, that should be enough to take it out. I'll just retreat with him. No, probably not going to get away. The way his weapon works is that these caustic slimes, it envelops the ship, and then at the end of the round it does damage, and I think it dissipates each turn. Yeah, so I lost the cruiser, but I defeated the amoeba, so it was worth it. Alright, being attacked again by Trilarians. I think these guys are just going to retreat. In a glorious battle, the alien space amoeba was destroyed by my military. So lost a cruiser, worthy, a noble sacrifice, but oh, no, I don't want to give them that. Under no circumstances do I want to give them galactic unification. So that actually worked pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. And now I'm just gonna keep pumping battleships. Once again, low on freighters. Seems to happen to me a lot. Okay, got the fleet here. I think. Yeah, okay. Just gonna make a couple of scouts as well, just to see what's going on with some of these other planets. And then I want to refit my main fleet with some better stuff. Positronic computer. Finally get back to getting ion drive. So that has freed up a lot of space so I can get more weapons once again. Keep that as Fury 2, but this might get a little bit confusing. First thing I need to do is refit all my Fury 2s. I think I had 3. Good. Now I need to replace all the Fury 2s that I started constructing with a new Fury 2. This is why I increment the number by 1 and change the picture to keep track, otherwise it gets very confusing. think this sort of situation, this sort of skill, spills over into other things. So getting good at managing this, I think, is a useful skill to build. You can use it in your workplace. I certainly do. Just keeping track of multiple things kind of all over the place. Very, very handy. So it's not a giant waste of time. I have read, I have seen studies and stuff mention that problem solving in video games has benefits, like it improves your problem solving ability. So have a read into that if you're interested. Okay, now I'm going to refit all my ships. Don't have a starbase yet. Oh, this is the planet that got attacked by the Intarans. So it doesn't have a lot of stuff. And this one I can refit the cruisers. So these cruisers are up to elite level now, or some of them are. So it's plus 50 beam attack and 50 beam defense. Very, very good. One more battleship. So lots of micromanagement. Can be a bit much sometimes, but that's how the game is. I'm going to send these 3 battleships with the leader as my first wave. Yep, Terrans coming again. Ulthar. Sounds like a land, like a fantasy game. Can't remember why I built a cruiser here. I'll just build battleships instead. It'll take a while, but why not? Now I'm actually, my food production is stalled. I think because this place is blockaded. Still got enough food, so you got to be careful with this. Like I said, with the natives perishing. If this goes negative and then it falls below the multiple of 1,000, so in this case 12,000. I know it's 12,000k, a bit confusing, but it's still positive, so it'll be fine. But if this was to drop to 11, I'd lose a population, like 11.9 or something. And it could actually kill off one of the natives, and I can't get them back, so gotta be careful. Unless you want to replace your natives, then that's fine as well, I guess. But the natives are that huge farming bonus, so probably best to hang on to them. Yeah, see, there you go. They knew which planet didn't have defenses, and they went straight for that planet. So you can't rely on the computer not having complete information, if that makes sense. if you're versing another player, that player doesn't know everything that's going on with you. This is true of all video games. When you're versing other players, you can kind of use the lack of information to your advantage. Okay, I've got missile base now, so I'm pretty safe once I build it. But in this game, and there's other games out there like this, the computer just know everything. So, and they use that to their advantage. It's a bit, feels a bit unfair at times, but it's just something you gotta deal with. So now I'm waiting so the missiles appear, and then my battleship moves. That way, I've got the opportunity to target them with my fusion beams. Okay, so a battleship is able to defeat a missile base, so that's good. I'm not going to build missile bases everywhere just yet. I'll build them as the opportunity arises. But I'll build them on these frontline planets here. A lot of them are building star bases anyway. Now, in order of defensive, or building things defensively, I like to start with what costs the least production. Makes sense, right? So missile base, then fighter garrison. Then I think ground batteries, if you've got the technology, and then star base. So it goes in this order. That way the planet will have defenses sooner rather than later, which is obviously beneficial. I think, I don't know what missile I have. I still only have nuclear, okay. So that's that planet. See, there's no way they could know that that planet has no defenses. They don't have omniscient. There is a racial ability that lets you see everything. They don't have that, but they still knew that that one had no defenses, so they went straight for it. So it's just gonna die, unfortunately. I'll continue powering through here, taking these planets. Not quite confident. Yeah, let's give it a go. Oh yeah, I've got inertial stabilizer, so I should be fine. Inertial stabilizer with class 3 shield. And I've got these fusion beams, which do really well against the nuclear missiles. So normally I always reject this, and part of me I just want to reject it anyway out of spite and out of principle. But because it's death spores, I don't actually care. So he can have that if he wants, and that'll just keep me off. That'll keep him off my back for a little bit longer. because if I said no to that, he might have declared war. And not that I'm scared of going to war with him, it's just it'll be a little bit irritating to go to war with him right now, so I don't want to do that when I finish off these guys, and then I'll deal with him later. These Antarans are about to hit. I don't think I can... Oh, I can get that, okay. Might as well send this battleship there. This place. I'm gonna try and fight them. Yeah, I don't know how I'll go. I'll do my best. What's this frigate? Want to take out this thing ASAP. Okay, that explosion hurt a lot. Should be okay though. So they can't hit me. Oh, and this thing doesn't even have the inertial stabilizer. They still can't hit. Because I think, battle scanner, electronic computer, and then, yeah, so 100 beam attack. Bit surprised they're doing so little damage. But anyway. So in this mod you actually have to be adjacent to the ship in order to board. I think in the base game you only have to be in like within 2 squares or something. So they nerfed boarding a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's their homeworld. Robo miners, very nice. Now I'm going to go for pulse and missile, and then up to Zortrium armor, and then I think I'll be in a good position to attack the Cylons. Look at that. Huge numbers there. I'm about to wipe them out. They've got a lot of ships scattered around, but they're all going to disappear. Just a few cruisers and things. Mostly destroyers, a couple of cruisers. A bunch of transports there for some reason. If they take this, then they'll survive. I'm gonna head there ASAP. And then that'll be it for them, I think. Real quick though, I'm going to build... won't build them absolutely everywhere. Just some of these planets that are quite a way away from finishing the battleship. I think that'll do. I think I should still win this. Oh, I forgot to build the oh no, it does have a missile base and a fighter garrison. Okay, good. What I'm gonna do is just try to take out the main ship here. Yeah, my battleship's not doing much damage. Might as well just retreat him. So I'm probably gonna lose the planet. I lost the planet. And I think I just discovered a planet. Technological secrets of Pulsar missile among the ancient artifacts of Kronos. That's nice. Which I think was the thing I was researching, of all things. So now, it just moves the... I didn't lose any research, but it just moves it over to like the next thing that was there. So I might as well get atmospheric renewal now. So that's down here, I think. Yeah, that planet there has ancient artifacts. So I don't really know why ancient artifacts would contain medium missile, but anyway, just a game. Now I want to send everything to a star which has a lot of planets so I can refit everything efficiently. So I'm not at war with anyone at the moment. Everyone I'm at war with I've wiped out. So we're at peace for the first time in a very long time. It's my own fault though, because I was the aggressor. So this nebula being here is quite annoying. And I'm going to have to spread my ships around to be refitted. Send a bunch to Colden. A bunch to Sla. Hopefully I don't get attacked during this time. Oh, actually, I'll send some to Mazin as well. Alright, more natives. Trilar's pretty good as well. Huge population there. Running out of freighters once again. Plenty of food though, which is good. Once I got this, I'll get Zortrium, and then I'll attack these guys. Maybe I'm strong enough to take them out now, but I'll just play it safe. Won't take very long to get this stuff. So I'm going to move everyone onto research just to speed it up. I don't really need battleships right now, I've got plenty. So it's going to research a lot faster now. So getting this in addition to the pollution processor, you're going to see this pollution drop very significantly. The atmospheric renewal is very, very good. Ooh, just got a leader. Join me from being rescued. So as you can see now, pollution still a little bit, but very, very minimal. So over 200 production in some of these planets. Now I'm gonna finally use my other leader. Or ship leader. Oh, right, okay, so because I've all 4 of my colony leader slots have been used, I don't actually get that leader, so oh well. So that was my home world. Yeah, lots of pollution there. Only a couple more turns for this armor. In case you were wondering, essentially the build order I go with the planets. If the planet is exposed or under threat or something like that, I'll prioritize defenses. If it's safe, so it has its defenses already, or it's in a safe location, like this one up here is not going to get attacked anytime soon, I prioritize maximizing production first, then build other stuff. Pretty simple formula, but it works quite well. Might as well maximize production before you build everything. Okay, there it is. Now we can get in there, finish them off, or kill them for the first time. Might as well get some spying stuff now. This one's pretty safe, but I'm gonna build defenses there anyway. Okay, here we go. So this will be my end game ship, I'm guessing. So same weapons. Let me just check one thing quick. Okay, they don't actually have radiation shields, so I think the heavy neutron blasters will be sufficient to cut through their defense. So I'm going to swap all these out. Put everyone back on production. And essentially what I'm going to do now is refit all my ships and then continue building battleships up until I've maxed out on my command points. And then I'll well, at that point I guess I'll stop building ships at that point. Well, I do have pretty good production, so a very good income So I can pretty much keep building ships for quite a while actually. Each command point you're negative costs 10 BC a turn, so it is significant. Just a couple more. Oh, this place has a lot of ships. There you go. Every single ship is being refitted, so I'm actually back at 100 out of 101 command points. The only one being used is this frigate. So my fleet right now consists of this one frigate. So hopefully I don't get attacked. Probably take this out actually. Might as well. It's been staring at me all this time. So the random event just popped up as if to say they know they're about to get attacked, so it's going to give them a little boost before that happens. Won't be enough, but amusing nevertheless. I think, oh yeah, I didn't explain this. In the case of armor, as you can see there's Autrium. The moment you research better armor, all the ships being designed or even being constructed automatically get the best armor. So I could be building a ship that has tritanium, and then I research Autrium. The ship under construction will automatically get the better armor before it's constructed. However, any ships already flying around that have been constructed, you'll need to refit them in order to get the better armor. So in case you're wondering why I didn't click into better armor or whatever in the ship design screen, because it's not actually possible, because it does it automatically. Same thing with drives, like better ship drives. In the case of drives as well, ships that are already flying around automatically get upgraded with the best drive. It's like the one thing that gets upgraded automatically. You don't have to refit the ship to get the better drive. Okay, here come the Antarans again. Gonna need more freighter fleets once again. Food even. Use the sucker to harvest, because they're extremely good at farming. Now this is not going to be a problem. So I'll send a lot more ships this time. I also have Zortrium armor. These guys won't make it, but I'm going to send them there anyway. Let's take out this eel. See, some of these planets are able to build a battleship in 5 turns. So the production is just so high. Then to send this ship. Just send it there like all the other ships. So as you can see, my command point's starting to run a little bit low, down to 32 now. I think, so you're gonna get 2/3 majority. So 42 divided by 3 is 14. So if I vote for myself now, I'll actually just win the game. So that's one way I could just win, but that's kind of... I'm gonna not do that, because I want to actually fight these guys, but for all intents and purposes, I've essentially won the game just now. So I'm gonna keep playing. It won't be much longer though. I think that's a little bit of an anticlimax, that's why I'm not really keen on that. There are some games where it pops up and it's actually a relief, because I kind of want it to just end already. But this time around, it feels like an anticlimax, so I'm gonna just keep going. Won't be much longer though. I think my fleet is pretty big. Right, these guys are about to hit. Let's get these final defenses ready. We'll see what happens. So I've got quite a few battleships there, as you can see. I'm gonna see if I can capture one of these as well. They are hard to capture. It's probably not going to happen. It's my ground combat. And remember, ground combat applies to Marines in space. Not very intuitive, but yeah, it's the Antarans have all the maximum abilities, like the maximum technologies, which contribute to ground combat. So it's very unlikely I'll be able to capture, but let's try it anyway. My only chance is for once I get through the armor, if the damper field gets destroyed, then my neutron blasters will kill Marines. As you can see, Marines are still at 8, which is the maximum for this ship. Neutron blasters are blocked by the damper field, or at least the Marine killing effect is blocked by the damper field. Which I'm not sure if it says that anywhere, but that's what happens, trust me. Okay, damper field is gone. So now if I shoot him with a neutron blaster. No, well, we just blew up instead. So yeah, very hard to capture these guys. But if you can scrap them and then gain Antaran technology. So he's a mobile now. So if I try to board, you can see I'm actually up to 20 now, but he's got 119, so yeah, not going to happen. The only way it will happen is if he has 0 Marines. Yeah, so in other words, not going to happen. So that's that. But the planet was safely, well, the planet was defended. I think just wait for a couple more ships to arrive and then I'll head in. And I'm not even going to bother managing these anymore. I think I've got enough stuff. Okay, here we go. So this is overkill, but let's do it. Just gonna auto-resolve. So he actually has ion pulse cannon, which is a very special beam weapon. If he actually, if he's able to get through the shields, then that thing gets all the damage gets applied to the ship's drive. I've got reinforced hulls, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But you can pretty much insta-kill ships with that thing. So we'll see if that happens now. Okay, he missed, so that's good. Fighter garrison on the planet is about to die. And then all the ships will start targeting the battle station. So yeah, fighter garrison's gone. Battle station, lots and lots of HP, as you can see. And his ion pulse cannon has a chance to insta-kill one of my ships. We'll see what happens. And he missed again. There you go, so just sheer numbers completely overwhelms them. Negation pact, okay, let's do it, but I'm gonna come and kill you soon anyway. Just conquered, okay. So build defenses here. I'll leave a couple of ships behind. I'll just leave the cruisers there. So they have a lot of good tech, but because my empire is so big, I've got so much production, so many command points. I can just build this very, very large fleet. Also warlord, which helps. Plus all my ships are very good veterancy, they're all veterans. Also because I'm warlord. Warlord plus Space Academy means your ship start as veteran, which is very good. He's got a Space Academy as well, which is why all his are regular. So not a whole lot he can do. He would need some miracle technology to save him at this point. Really the only thing I'm concerned with is the ion pulse cannon on that thing. Yeah, so now these ships are going to get targeted. Yep, that happens. I'm just going to auto-resolve it. So as I explained in the first video, that's probably the only disadvantage to having telepathic, besides the point cost, is that they'll target those ships. So it's hard to hang on to the ships in a big battle like that. I'm just going to auto-resolve this one as well. Now, in my opinion, the main benefit of capturing enemy ships is that you can scrap them. It has to be at one of your colonies though, and then it gives you random technology. So it's another way to acquire technology. So lots of ways to get technology in this game, but besides researching, obviously researching is the most direct way. As you can see, auto-resolve hasn't done a very good job of keeping my eye. Trying to cancel it here, but it won't let me. So be careful of that, because sometimes once you press auto, you can't cancel it. But I'm going to lose that ship there, which is completely unnecessary. But real shame, because I think he served me really well. And I don't think I have survival pods, so he's actually going to die because of that. So a bit of a kick in the teeth there, honestly. But yeah, that's why I don't use auto-resolve too much, or auto-combat too much. Things like that happen. Oh no, it was the other guy. Okay, so Aquarius lives on, but still, it's a bit sloppy there from the auto-resolve. Okay. I'm gonna have to get Iridium fuel cells to get to that planet, but in the meantime, we can start killing the next guy. And I'll send this fleet up to kill the Maclars. Now normally your ships in hyperspace, they can't be redirected, but because I've got tachyon communications, they can. A little bit of a complexity around how that works, but basically just be careful when you're sending a ship. If you don't have any of the three technologies to transmit orders to ships in hyperspace, you won't be able to redirect them. So the first one's tachyon communications, then you get subspace, and then hyperspace. And each one improves the command points, but also improves the distance between star bases and ships in hyperspace that can receive orders. So even something like this in this game has a little bit of complexity, like everything in this game. But interesting nevertheless. Okay, they moved their fleet away, which is a bit annoying. I think taking this out is going to be a bit more straightforward than Cylons. They don't have as good levels of refinement in shields, so that thing dies faster. Starbase also has a lot less health, so it's going to just die pretty quickly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. Okay. Maybe I could have taken that actually. Send a couple of cruisers back to take that out. Meanwhile, continue on. See if we can take 2 planets at a time. So you can see the difference in the technology, how big a difference it makes. Like comparing the Mershan to the Cylons there. much harder to get through the defenses on the Cylon planets. If you press Z, then that's what happens. Pretty much just resolves it instantly. Can be very dangerous though. Okay, they're moving their entire fleet down here. Just build some defenses. I do have pulse and missiles, so this will give them something to think about. Just going to leave a battleship behind. As for this place, might as well build some defenses. Space Crystal, okay. 4 cruisers against 2 frigates, 7 destroyers and 3 battleships. Let's see if they attack. Okay, they didn't. Now these are the Mechlars, I'm not sure how strong they're going to be. Let's find out. They have heavy armor and reinforced hull, which they love to get. I think Mechlars, and probably some of the other races as well, I think they have specific tech paths, or there's technologies that they're more likely to research, according to their racial abilities. So in the case of Mechlars, they're cybernetic, so they almost always like to get reinforced hull and heavy armor to maximize their total HP, because with cybernetic you regenerate 10% of your HP per turn. So the more HP you have, the larger the regeneration. It's very, very good, especially early game. Late game, it doesn't really do anything, but early game, it's very good. Can make your ships unkillable. But late game, you have so many ships and so much firepower that the 10% regeneration barely comes into play, so it's very much an early game ability. Bother with any of this. Don't know what that fleet's gonna do. I will I'll just keep sweeping through their planets. I don't have uridium fuel cells. I'm just gonna move my people onto science just to speed that up. Still 7 turns, wow. Okay, that'll do. A few more turns. I can move them closer, I guess. Continue the attack. Titan construction, okay. I don't see any Titans, so... Ooh, okay, they've got radiation shield. So I think maybe I was wrong about this. So it's 6, so we've got the basic 1, and then the radiation shield adds 5. So unfortunately that means taking out this planet is going to take a bit longer. I'm going to use the starbase though. Starbase has some good firepower on it. So, okay, all the Marines are dead now. This is Meklar, so it's got 200 health, so it regenerates 20 health a turn. So I have to do at least 20 damage per turn in order to be making any progress at all. Which I think I can do. Especially once I capture the starbase. So neutron blasters doing some decent damage now. The closer I get, the more damage they do. And as you can see, the missile base on the computer, see the starbase is the biggest threat. So they're actually going to target the starbase. I think because it's got missiles, they do the most damage. It's just a simple calculation. What does the most damage? As you can see there, 40 damage. So I think one more round. There we go. There we go, radiation shield. So radiation shield, very annoying to fight against. Fortunately, they don't have too many levels of refinement in force fields, so its benefit is not what it could be. Now let's move these guys down. Get ready to attack that place once I research iridium fuel cells. Bit surprised they have first move. Oh, it's because they have augmented engines, okay. This doesn't have a radiation shield, so this should be pretty straightforward. See if I can capture some of these ships. I'll capture it, but I think they'll immediately target it. There we go. So hard to hang on to the ships. Shot from a neutron blaster should be enough to finish off the Marines. Okay, no Marines left. Okay, as you can see there, so he's got armor piercing mass driver, so that penetrated the armor. So it lost some structure, and then the ion pulse cannon hit, so the drive took some damage. So he's slowing down and gonna lose some beam defense as well. There we go. So now, basically, all good. So that Zortrium armor has been very, very helpful. I think a couple of salvos from the battle station should clean this up pretty good. Now hopefully these don't have okay, alright, gonna just exterminate it then. Hopefully it doesn't have a radiation shield. I'll send all the stuff there so she can clean up pretty fast. Ooh, the fleet is being forced to retreat. I think that's what happened. Iridium. Oh no, I think maybe they just are on their way there for some reason. But anyway, I'll intercept them with my fleet here. Meanwhile, this fleet will move down, take this out, and with that fleet I'll take that out, and then that'll be it. 9 battleships. Okay, it does have a radiation shield, so this one's going to be a little bit longer. It's also got ground batteries. It's see, at that range, the dissipation's so great, it doesn't even damage. So I have to get closer. First things first though, I'll take out this take out the Marines on the battle station. So 0 Marines. And now move up. So I got hit by the ion pulse cannon again, so... Oh no, I think this was just an armor-piercing mass jabber. So the armor will still be useful against missiles and fighters. The beams, they all have armor-piercing, which just ignores the armor. So only the neutron blasters at this range are only doing 1 damage each. That range doing 2 damage each. And then I think if I get close enough it'll do 3 or 4 damage. So pretty low numbers, but if you've got enough ships it's alright. Fortunately they only have titanium armor, so the planet doesn't have too much health. And I'm pretty sure it only regenerates based on the 1 building. So even though they've got 3 buildings, 200 health per building, it'll only regenerate 20 health per turn instead of 60. So that'll probably be a bit overpowered if it regenerated 60 per turn. And I think the maximum amount of buildings you can get is 4, so missile base, fighter garrison. Missile base, fighter garrison, ground batteries, and then stellar converter. My favourite is ground batteries, but it's pretty late in the tech tree. Only 14 bombs. So Merchant don't even have shields. Looks like they scrapped a whole bunch of their ships. I think because they had a pretty big fleet, but because I took out all their planets, they didn't have any command points. So they actually had to scrap them all to save money. Or they just redirected it. Not really sure what happened there. A couple of turns and I'll be able to attack this. So I think, oh, now it lets me unpause. Oh, they do only have titanium armor. Finish off the backlars. And then I can finally attack this. There we go.
The power of the ancients is now yours to command. You have crushed all opposition beneath your heel. You rule the greatest empire in living history. Its soldiers' bravery at your command. Your army is undefeatable. Your fleets patrol the skies of every planet and galaxy. This galaxy. But other challenges await the master of Orion.
There you go. So I took out all 7 opponents. Don't know if you can call it a 1v7, like it is technically a free-for-all. And they did fight each other a little bit. I didn't pay much attention to that, but that they did. I think I took a one of the Sacra planets. I took it, and then the people on that planet were Daleks, something like that. So that's evidence that there was some kind of there was some changing of hands of those planets. But I took everyone out, starting with the Sacra. Being adjacent to a race like Sacra early on is very good for 2 reasons. One, if you absorb them right away, that gives you a huge boost, and it's better to get the boost earlier compared to later. As you can see there, star date 127. That means 127 turns. Just ignore the 3-5. But this is like what, turn 127, this is turn 161, and so on. As you can see, 3 of them took them out right towards the end within the space of 10 turns or 11 turns. But you really get that momentum taking out the Sacra earlier. Not only that, if they start on the opposite side of the galaxy, they've got more time to grow. And a race like them they get a huge population. One of my other videos, I'm at war with them for a very long time, and they're able to just pump out Titans very quickly. So yeah, you want to start closer, not further away. Cylons, I was a little bit worried about them, but they didn't really do much. So I think they were supplying technology to some of the other races. That's why some of the other races had so much tech. That's usually how it goes, because they are peaceful. And I think they make demands of each other. Like Mershan was probably threatening them. But yeah, they didn't get too much momentum behind them, so even though they're creative, it was alright in the end. And I don't think I had a single technology stolen from me all game. It's a combination of unification and telepathic, also very good. Like, telepathic basically just does everything. Makes the game a lot easier. So, unification, you get the 15 spying bonus, defensive, and then telepathic plus 10. So right off the bat, you've got 25 defensive spying, which is very good. So I didn't lose it. I didn't have a single technology stolen. You don't actually lose the technology, they just gain a copy of it. But obviously that's bad. Like if they stole galactic unification, for example, that'd be bad. But there you go. So that's how you can kind of steamroll. 217 turns, not my best time, but still alright. In the beginning, I think the Sacra, they were a bit tougher defensively than I anticipated, so I wasn't able to like just punch through and take them over. I had to go all the way up to battle pods and things to actually defeat their defenses with 3 cruisers, but got there in the end. But sometimes if there is a bit of luck involved, like if the factors come together nicely, you can actually, if you've got a cruiser, you can actually take out their starbase, take over their homeworld, mind control their homeworld in something like 35 turns. Not sure what the minimum is, but you can do it very, very fast. So 127 turns to defeat the first race is actually pretty slow compared to what's actually theoretically possible, or what is possible. But it's a lot of it's going to be dependent on various factors. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Again, please let me know what you think about the commentary, level of commentary, speaking too fast, speaking too slow. You want me to talk more about certain things, or talk less about certain things? That's fine as well. And I'm happy to do another series. I think I won't pick telepathic next time though. It does make it a bit easy. But I'll do another series which incorporates that feedback. So let me know what you think. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Take care. See you later.